Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and their twin flame connection. Twins, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Twins, I hope that you're doing well. If you're here as a cross watcher, welcome. If you're here and you're not sure of what a twin flame connection is, I've included a link to Gabi Kovalenko's full-length explanation. It's about an hour long, that video, but it's very, very thorough, and I highly recommend you watch it if there's any kind of confusion as to what the twin flame dynamic is. I would not be able to do as good of a job explaining the intricacies of what a twin flame dynamic means, historically speaking, etherically speaking, but in a nutshell, the twin flame dynamic describes two people who share the same energetic soul. So like if you are able and lucky enough, and I do say lucky enough, even though it is one of the hardest connections to have, if you're lucky enough to meet your twin, and you meet somebody who acts as a mirror to you, there's often a period of intense connection where it's almost this soul recognition. But there comes a time when that connection becomes too pressurized, too powerful to handle, and there's often a separation between the twins, leading to a kind of runner-chaser dynamic. And those energies can flip. One person can be a runner, one person can be a chaser, and vice versa. The whole point of the separation period is to spiritually ascend, to look at all the ways that we were triggered, not just by our twin, but by everything in life, what it is that is there to teach us. Our twins are our greatest teachers. And it's the sense that twins came here for a mission to spiritually ascend, discover their spiritual gifts, and share those gifts with humanity and raise the vibration of humanity. And I always kind of joke, but there's truth in it, that it's a tall order. The twin flame collective are some of the most powerful light workers on the planet. And we are here in our own little corners of the world to try and literally make it a better place by being completely ourselves. It's the hardest thing to do. And our twin flames act as the spiritual mirror to remind us of who we are. It's a very harrowing connection. I am a twin flame. I am talking to twin flames in separation. I do these readings to help twins, provide them with some messages, some hopefully useful insight into what's going on with their dynamic at this time, the time that you're watching this. I was in separation from my twin for 7 years, no contact for 5, and just this spring we came into union. And it was the hardest past 5 to 7 years of my life. And I do not say that lightly. I'm also a cancer survivor. And I don't take that lightly either, but battling cancer was easier. So, yeah, that being said, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to my twin, to Spirit, to everything, to all of you for providing me with community as well. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The first one for the base spread, the Liminal Spirits Oracle deck, and I'm going to use the Artist Decoded Tarot for the tarot portion of your reading. The cards have been reshuffled. This is for the earth signs and a twin flame connection. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. The first two cards are going to be your energy. The second set of cards, your twins. The third set of cards will be the connection. And the fourth set, advice from Spirit. Feel free to flip your set of cards with your twins, as the twins often mirror one another, and so you may resonate with what comes up in your twins pile. Well, look at that. Would you look at that? Okay. It made me snort a little because it made me so happy to see it. So we'll get to it. It's a bright spot in your reading today. Okay, all the base cards are down. Now I'm going to pull a tarot. I always take flippers from the deck. I never choose cards. I also try to pick up the cards with my right hand at first. I may switch from the right hand to the left, but these are just kind of some methodologies that I have cultivated with Spirit over the last several years that I have been reading tarot. I have to say two things. Well, one, you got an extra card, which we will look at in one moment. This is the first time I've actually spoken today. I have not really spoken. I may have said a few words to my cat, a few words to my mom, and that's about it. So I don't know why Spirit wants me to tell you that. Something about speaking your truth, speaking aloud. Maybe you haven't been speaking aloud and everything is getting caught in your throat chakra. When things get caught in our throat chakra, there is essentially a stoppage or a backlog within our energetic body. And Spirit wants me to tell you that sometimes when we don't speak our truth, it makes us physically ill. So for some reason, and I don't think that's going to resonate with everybody, but I think it does actually resonate with everybody. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily in that place. But there is something that you've been meaning to say that you haven't said that needs to be said. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to do anything with your twin. It just perhaps is, your twin is probably, thank you, Spirit, your twin might be just the catalyst for that. Maybe you need to say something to your mom or dad, or a friendship that has gone south, or somebody who's taking advantage of you, and blah, 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 right? So I don't know what it is exactly, but Spirit wants me to say that. They also wanted me to say, as I was talking about, because I don't usually mention the fact that I pick up the cards with my right hand. I don't really mention that very much. But as I was saying it, I started to lose feeling in my right hand. It started to feel a little numb and prickly. Like I was losing circulation. That could have something to do, you know, the chakras are our energetic system. So if there is a chakra or several chakras that are blocked in your body, it absolutely affects your circulation, can affect your breathing, can affect your digestion, can affect your mental state. It's all connected. So Spirit wants me to, it was like, stop everything. Tell the earth signs this. So there you are. If you feel so inclined, it's not to make you panic. It's more, I mean, what is it? What did it start with? It just started with speaking. But if you feel so inclined, go to your doctor. I just think that there's a truth that you need to speak, which could be very difficult. But the extra card that you got here was the number 7 of the Major Arcana, the Chariot card. That's Cancer energy. So it could have to do with your feelings, your emotions, right? I'm a Cancer, and what are Cancers known for? They're known for like basking in their feelings, in nostalgia, in the past. But the Chariot card as a tarot card represents movement, grand movement forward, progression, power behind that. There's inertia behind that movement. Can represent travel or international travel. Can represent vehicles. Maybe it's like, okay, I hear the song, get your motor running, head out on the highway. Spirit is singing that. Looking for adventure for whatever comes our way. Born to be wild, right? That's the song, Born to be Wild. You know, maybe there's something that somewhere you've been meaning to travel. Maybe it's simply using your voice to tell somebody you need a vacation. You're going, goodbye. I don't know. It's a very positive card when it comes in the upright because it represents victory. It represents taking control of our lives, of our movement. The first set of cards, your energy, like I said, feel free to flip it with your twins if you resonate more with your twins pile. Clay. This is the third time. I've only done 3 readings for this series, right? It's the elements, so we're on Earth. That's the third in the series, and everyone has gotten this card somewhere in the reading. And I shuffle, 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 right? So there's something to be said about this card. The striations, the layers, the complexity. It had a very different meaning with the fire signs. For you, I see it almost as looking down onto a landscape. Oh, Spirit wanted me to show you the back side of the card for some reason. It's like somebody wanted to see the back side of the card. Here it is. Looking down onto a landscape, and it's almost as if we're looking at the elevations of land, and this is a river. So there could be a river that is relevant to you. Maybe you live by a body of water, a river, a lake, a stream, a creek, a passageway. Spirit is showing me the Panama Canal. I don't know why. Maybe you're Panamanian. It's more about the idea of connecting like the Atlantic to the Pacific. Is your twin at a distance from you? Do you live on the other side of the world from each other? Or are they from the other side of the world? Maybe you're not that far away, but there's something about connecting the Atlantic to the Pacific and this narrow passage, the Panama Canal, or some kind of canal, maybe the Suez Canal in Egypt, I don't know. That's really relevant. For your energy as a metaphor or a symbol, you are like acting as an energetic bridge or an emotional bridge, because we did get the major arcana for Cancer here. So you could have Cancer placements somewhere in your chart. Just like I'm a Cancer, I have very, very prominent Earth placements in my Venus. So that could be it too, that you're discovering some energetic, emotional connection between you and your twin, that you feel you're bridging the gap. You're bridging the gap. It could purely be in the astral. But when I was no contact with my twin, and he does not remember or recall this, because divine masculine, divine feminines, it's like they're working on different things in the twin flame connection, right? Usually the chaser is the more spiritually inclined one. It's not to say that your twin is not spiritual, but they're kind of grounding down energies where the divine masculine may be, the divine feminine may be kind of working with the etheric. So I used to enter into the astral realm when I could. It's not something that I can necessarily control, but the connection that I made to my twin in those spaces, pure energy and pure emotion, pure love, pure everything, is crazy. In a way, that was an indication to me that he had not stepped off the journey, because Spirit was giving me these openings, and that could be, I think this kind of feels like an opening too. Maybe Spirit is giving you these synchronicities, signs, symbols, cues, clues that your person is, they could be struggling to stay on the path with you, but they haven't given up completely. And this is you making that connection. Three of Wands. To clarify, the Wands is the fire element. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is you standing at the precipice of change. It comes after the Two of Wands, which is all about making decisions for ourselves. By the time we reach the Three, we're ready to step forward. We could be waiting. It is a card of waiting. We could be waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect timing. It's interesting that people in my life are very surprised, right? That because for a lot of the people that are in my life right now, I have been very, very single. But now I'm in union with my twin. It was just like, if for some people it's like out of nowhere, like, who the heck is this guy? And so it seems like it came out of nowhere. There was a moment in our lives when the timing was not right. We could not step forward in the way that we may have wanted to. And so I feel as though that feeling is there for you. Right person, wrong time. But I do see you looking ahead, just like with this Chariot card. It's like you're looking forward. You are making progress, even if it doesn't feel like it. And I know that is so hard sometimes to accept, especially seeing as though I'm on a different side of the twin flame journey. I mean, at the beginning of this year, I was not. I was in separation. It was difficult to see that any progress had been made. But, right, it's all about the progress that we make for our own selfhood. Like, if you look back at your recent past or even your deep past, really assess for yourself how far you've come in your life. All the things that you ended up manifesting for yourself. Maybe, of course, there's always more that we would like to manifest for ourselves, right? But you didn't get to the place that you're at by accident. You made decisions. You made moves. And Spirit wants to remind you that you should be really proud of how far you've come. And if you're entrenched in the twin flame journey right now, then the strides that you're making are exponential. It may be difficult to see it because you're on the inside. You're on the inside of it, but it's like your spirit guides can see everything so clearly, and they're really proud of you because you're not giving up. And it's not even about giving up on your twin. You're not giving up on yourself. And if you do feel like giving up on yourself, Spirit is saying they want you to rally. You're making the connections. You're making the connections. Clay as an element's very earthy, isn't it? just like you. Clay is this beautiful material that can build homes, insulate things, keep things in, keep things out, but it also can create artwork, containers, vessels, surfaces, right? It's very multifaceted, and Spirit wants to remind you that you are the same. You are multifaceted as well. 3 cards. King of Pentacles in reverse, King of Swords in the upright, 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. So before we look at the 5 of Pentacles, this is the clarifier for you. It seems as though, I mean, this would be your energy. Pentacles is earth element, but the King is in reverse. So it's almost like the rational, strategic King of Swords side of you is kind of overtaking the grounded, earthy, practical side. The King of Swords is all about strategy. You're planning your next moves that could have to do with this. Okay, I know I'm going to step forward. That is a foregone conclusion. How I step forward, I'm going to think about it a little bit more. 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. There was a time when you felt isolated, alone, alienated, left out, and Spirit is showing me it's like you're not feeling sorry for yourself anymore. And if you felt any kind of feeling of being left out, you're leaving that in the past. And you're just like, you know what? Maybe it just wasn't meant for me. Those that group of people, those friendships, those relationships, I'm not going to harp on it. I'm not going to dwell on it anymore. It's just really beautiful. You're making a lot of connections. That's the key takeaway. And those connections are informing your next steps. For your twins energy, we got bone. Spirit is telling me that this represents vulnerability. It's like there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. Everything is out on display. The bare bones. Getting to the heart of the matter. You know, like when we get x-rays, can't hide anything. Our skin can't hide it. Our clothes can't hide it. It's reminding me of, it's reminding me of the scans, the body scans that you get at the airport. So maybe your twin is traveling. And Spirit said they could be on their way back to you, which I do not make bold claims like that. Spirit doesn't usually give me those messages. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I see an airport scene very, very clearly, going through that kind of x-ray scan machine thing. That's just for some. If they're not coming back to you physically, they may be kind of coming back to your town, coming to visit other people. Not sure. I see that airport very clearly. I see somebody at an airport. I did talk about travel and international travel here, so take it as it resonates. But moreover, your twin can't, it's almost like they can't hide from you, but they also can't hide from themselves. And when we look at x-rays, I mean, there's nothing really pretty about it, right? Looking at our bones. Have you ever had a bone scan? Because I have. And it's not particularly aesthetic. if anything, okay, so Spirit, you know, it's very weird that I mentioned that, you know, I'm a cancer survivor, because usually I don't bring that up. But as part of that process, a long time ago, long time ago when I was younger and I had cancer, but I had to get a bone scan. And Spirit is showing me my bone scan. And there was a time when I was like 5, I fell down a few stairs. I only fell down like 3 stairs, but I was 5. So 3 stairs is a lot for a 5-year-old, right? And I hurt my knee. And I discovered in that bone scan that that particular knee had developed a kind of like calcification. So there was like a little scar tissue that I never knew was there. And I only knew it was there because of that bone scan. I was like, oh, that's interesting, right? And of course, which knee hurts when it rains? That one. But Spirit is showing that to me. Like your twin is discovering things that have been buried deep inside, buried underneath, that they didn't, almost like they took for granted, or they didn't realize was bothering them, or why it was bothering them. Looking back on childhood, you get my drift. It's clarified by the 8 of Swords in the reverse. So they're freeing themselves. It's weird too. Don't these wands look like bones? Isn't that crazy? That's a crazy synchronicity. 8 of Wands is all about being like trapped by your own thoughts and anxieties. And Spirit is telling me that, I don't know, I feel like some of your twins might be going to counseling or therapy, or they're just using their throat chakra. Thank you, Spirit. Using their throat chakra a little bit more to discuss things that they could have buried in the past, right? Because we are mirrors with our twins. So if I, at the top of this reading, said to you, there's some throat blockage, it's not just for you, it could be for your twin as well. I'm going to get a clarifier for bone, please. Page of Swords in the reverse. So Page of Swords can sometimes be a little bit of spying energy. It's all about curiosity and taking the initial steps, asking questions, but not even knowing. It's like asking questions, but not even knowing kind of what it is that you're asking. You're just like, it's like slight probing, right? Curiosity energy, but your twin got this in the reverse. So it's almost like I want to say that, like, if you're wondering if your twin is like asking questions about you, I would say no for the moment, because they're more focused on their own healing, which is good. You want your twin to heal because they want you to heal. That's what helps the dynamic. It's not actually them being obsessed with you and you being obsessed with them, even though it can feel like that sometimes. Turning inward. And I think that's what they're doing. They're looking at those anxieties so that they can heal from them, right? The fear of the future, that's what anxiety is, a potential future that may never happen. That's what anxiety is. For the connection, you both got Moth. Moth is really intense. If you ever watch Sand Tarot, she always talks about the moth energy and how it's connected to the underworld, the psychic realms, the shadow side. Why do moths find themselves attracted to flames, right? A certain death. And maybe that's part of what you both are trying to heal, that I do feel as though at one time there was intense rejection of the twin flame dynamic. I certainly did. In those moments where I was so frustrated with the whole thing, I just wanted to give up. No matter how much I love this person, it just seemed futile. But every time I tried to break the bond, it was almost like it got stronger. Every time I tried to cut the cord, which you cannot, by the way, but I tried, it was like some part of my unconditional love for this counterpart just won over everything else. But Spirit is showing that to me right now. It's like you both looking at the shadow sides of yourselves and your counterpart, and wondering, you know, is this futile? Am I just willingly flying into the flame? It's a decision that you have to make. Five of Cups to clarify. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry if you're feeling this. It's depression, sadness, feeling left out, abandoned, orphaned. I really, really understand. And it's weird though, because if you think you're alone in this feeling, I guarantee you you're not. Your twin feels it, and other twins are going through it. All I can suggest to you is to keep the faith, keep rallying for yourself. It's almost like, don't worry so much about what your twin is doing over here across the Pacific or the Atlantic. Like, don't worry so much about focus on the Two Cups here, right? Two of Cups in the tarot is divine partnership, divine union, and connection with your higher self. What is it that you want from your life? What do you want to work on? What are your spiritual gifts? Have you discovered what they are? I'm sure many of you have an inkling, if not a full-blown understanding of what your spiritual gifts are. How can you use those gifts to help others? Because when you figure that out, there's a grand sense of fulfillment that washes over you. For me, it was understanding that I was a light worker, that I was intuitive, and that I could read the cards, and that I could talk to Spirit in this way. This all happened because of the catalyst of my twin flame connection. And it didn't happen. I've been intuitive my whole life, but I didn't know that other people weren't. It was only when I cut my twin off that I realized these things. When I blocked his phone number and I erased all the this, that, and the other thing, and I focused on myself, then it's like all of this stuff came to the surface. And it will for you too if it hasn't already. Whatever those gifts are, focus on those. Because then you also find soul tribe members too. That's how I met a lot of my online sisters, witchy sisters, tarot readers, mediums, scryers, all these people. Let's see. Nine of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I feel as though you want to give up, because this is the card of resilience and tenaciousness, and you got this in reverse. I feel as though you've had enough. I feel it. I think both of you are very frustrated, and for now, I think you might be moving in the direction of your dreams, but not necessarily towards one another. Although I do feel like your twin is approaching you. Maybe it's in the astral, because my twin never physically approached me, but in the astral, he was right here in this space with me. I promise you. He visited me. So I do feel like your twin is making a little bit more moves, but they might not be conscious of it. What is the advice from Spirit? It's really a honeybee. That's why I was smiling. This kind of reminds me of fingerprint, the uniqueness of the experience of the twin flame connection. Honeybee talks about sweet rewards. It's so different, isn't it, from the rest of the cards here. It's like sunlight. This is Spirit's advice. You are a part of this grand design. A very integral part, a very important part. You're like, your piece of the twin flame collective is just as important as everyone else's. And when you, it's not even about necessarily embracing your twin per se, but when you embrace your side of it, that you are twin flame, that you are here to provide vibration, high vibration to the collective, right? It's medicinal, it's healing. You know, the hexagonal shapes in the honeycomb come from their vibration. Their buzzing is what causes that shape. It's sacred geometry. And Spirit is showing it to you right now, how important you are to the grand scheme of things. It could be mysterious, number 18, the major arcana, the moon. Also representative of Cancer, but can represent Pisces as well. Mysteries, illusion, illumination in the darkness. There is light and dark happening here. Not everything is going to make sense all the time. That's part of the lesson. To have faith. To know that Spirit is guiding you with that plan. And wants to reward you as well. So that's your reading, Earth Signs. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.